Hey guys, welcome back to the channel here. I've been noticing a lot on in the carving groups on Facebook, a lot of questions about what knives should I get, people just starting out. That's a big question for everyone, and I remember when I started out, I think I had the same questions. And I don't, I know a lot of people don't want to invest a bunch of money to get started, and I understand that. But if you want to see if it's going to be worth your while, you have to start carving with a decent knife, a sharp knife. And the ones I recommend, if you don't want to break the bank, not that other ones are expensive. A lot of them are just good ones are hard to get. But these flex cut knives are readily available. I think this was my very first carving knife right here. This one, and then I think I got this detail knife after that. You can do almost every carving with just these two, especially beginner carvings, because when you're beginning, you're not going to be cutting in a lot of detail and stuff yet. You're still learning that. But to get your basic carving in, these two knives, you can do it. And then Flex Cut has a couple other different styles. Here's one that's it's a rough out knife, but it's a shorter blade. You can see the length difference between the two of them. And let me turn some light on. Maybe this might help. Maybe that's better. But anyways, you can see the difference in these blades. They're both good knives. Flex Cuts, they come sharp, ready to use. And you're going to have to get a strop as well eventually. You have to have a strop. You got to sharpen your knives if you want to continue carving. And I think that's the biggest thing for people when they get started carving, is they get discouraged because their knife gets dull. Their knife gets dull, and they don't make good cuts, and they struggle. And a lot of times accidents happen because they haven't sharpened their knife. I personally, when I'll carve for 15-20 minutes or so, and I'll strop. I'll take a little break and strop, look at my carving, whatever. But I always strop. I use this strop for most of my stuff here. This is actually pigskin. And the stuff I put on is called Dunkel Dust. This is by a guy named John Dunkel. You can find these on different sites that sell all your carving supplies, whatnot. But I've had good luck with this one. I have a few more. I have a bunch of strops, actually. I think I mentioned that before in another video. And then another big question is, what carving glove do I buy? Well, everybody has their own preferences, but I've had good luck with this right here. These Dex Fit. They're a level 5, and that's like one of your better cut-proof gloves. It has the rubber grips on it, so it's easy to hold on your projects if you're handling small pieces like this. This is a 1x1 kind of split in half, so it's pretty small. On up to whatever if you're carving bark. So this is a good one, and it's called Dex Fit. Everybody can take a look, screenshot that or whatever. And I don't know, they're not the cheapest ones, but they're not the most expensive either. And then as far as thumb guards, you can go this route. I'm a little disappointed. I ordered this one once before, and it fit good. This one, it just seems a little small, because a lot of times I like to wear them on the thumb of my glove too. You can see I got this one taped up because for some reason the way I carve, I end up cutting a hole in my thumb, the thumb hole of or cutting a hole in the thumb of my glove. And so I used to wear one of these on top of it, but it's not big enough to put on the top of it anymore. So I don't know what happened and why the size changed, but you can buy this stuff in a roll. And you can buy a whole big package of it. I got some that's going to last me, a couple of years. And it just sticks to itself. You can wrap your thumbs up, your fingers up with this to protect yourself as well. So that's kind of a little safety tip. Another tool that I recommend you have when you're carving is a little denture brush like this. These help you get in the nooks and crannies to get stuff out while you're carving. I don't have anything going right now, but here's one I did. But you take it and you can just brush out these little underneath in these little grooves underneath areas. It just makes it a lot easier as you're working. You can keep your project clean. You can also get one of these dudes here, a little shoe brush. These work good too. They're nice and soft. What else was I going to point out to you? And it's nice to have a little ruler of sorts when you're laying out your carving, if you got something that you need to lay out. And as you start to advance into your carving, you're going to want to have a few other tools. Let me roll this up and get this out of the way for right now. As you start advancing in your carvings, you're going to start thinking about different gouges and knives. And this one's pretty good right here. This is I believe it's a number 9. And it's great for removing a lot of bark in areas to get started. And you can clean it up with either smaller gouges and that's made by Flex Cut too. Flex Cut has a ton of tools. Another one that I like to use, this one, and where's my other one right here? I like these number 3s. Now the number 3, you can see it doesn't have much of a sweep on it. It's pretty flat. This is great for removing wood too and smoothing things out. It's a palm gouge, you can see. It just has a slight bevel on it, but it doesn't have a big sweep. You can see it's pretty flat. Those are number 3s. Those are handy tools to have too. And also you probably, when you start getting into the knives, I have a variety of knives. I have this was my very first, this is a Helvy knife. This is my very first one. I have a few now. And once you carve with one of these, you're going to go, man, I should have had one of them a long time ago. But the only way you can get them is you order them. And right now they're, I think about a year out or something. I got one on order that I ordered a few months ago. But you can go to a carving show where they're set up and they'll have some for sale there. And you can pick through. And they usually have a big selection. So, you can always get them if you decide to go to a carving show that Helvy knives are going to be at. So you get that style, and you can get, here's a detail knife. You can see the difference, the blade sizes there. That's a detail knife. They have these other styles that I really like. I use these all the time. I think this one's called a lamb's foot. And I think this one's called, a ram's foot. See the different size? Here, focus in there. There you go. You can see these are fantastic for getting, like if you're carving in a face, for example. If you have a knife and you're trying to reach in there, there's a lot of chances that you're going to catch this part of the knife on the bridge of your nose if you're messing around over here with this left eye, or his right eye, I should say. With these, because this is not sharp right here, this shank right there is not sharp, just the end, just the tip. So you can get in with these and do a lot of stuff with them. They're very, very handy, very handy. I use them all the time. So there's a couple other tools. Put them away. Let's see. And then I have an assortment of different palm gouges as well. Like here's a real small flat skew. That comes in handy too. I use all of these. Here's a different type of skew with a point on it. It's double-sided. It's got a bevel on each side of it. I can get it to, you can see there. Different variety of V-tools. Here's a real small one. You can see, I think you can see that, yeah. It's great for doing little details. And there's a little bigger V-tool. And if you can get away with finding other brands too. My son bought me a set a long time ago of these right here. These come in a big set with a whole bunch of different tools, and they were sort of sharp but not sharp enough. So all I did is I just worked them over. I put them on started with like a 400 grit sandpaper, and then I went to an 800, then I went up to like a 1200 or a 1500, and then I put them on the strop, and I got them all sharp. So you got this V tool, this little larger V tool, here's a smaller V tool, and these are, hold on a second, these here are like a gouge. These are probably like a, oh gosh, I don't know, maybe a number 5 or 6, maybe a little more than that. Not quite a 7, I don't think, but they're all the same. They're just smaller. But these are great for scooping out, cleaning up, simple. And I don't believe they're expensive, so I think that's something. You see that? Something that's affordable if you don't want to spend the money and get into the, buying the more expensive type of gouges, Ramelsons and Stubai, and whatever. They definitely cost more money than these. But I have them and I use them all. I use these a lot of times as well because I got the variety of different size gouges, or especially the V tools. One tool that I do recommend that you get is a soft V tool, and I don't have one. I'm actually looking for one right now, and I'm gonna order one soon. But a soft V tool is you figure. I'm gonna grab this bigger V tool here. If I can find it. So you can see the side, how sharp that point comes onto that V tool. See how sharp that is? Okay. A soft V tool doesn't come to that sharp point. It's more rounded. And that's why they call it a soft V. And they come in different sizes. I think I want like a 1/4 inch or a 3/8 inch for most of the carvings that I do. I don't do a lot of really big stuff, but not here anyways. And so I got other Helvey knives. I got my 35th anniversary, and I just got that this year. But I'm a little bummed out. Somehow I broke the tip. My bad somehow, because tips don't break by themselves, so I did it. So I got to fix that yet. And this one, I think, is made by Alan Goodman. I think made this knife. I think I picked this up down in Tennessee at Sevierville at the carving show down there from his booth. And it's kind of an upsweep blade with a curve in it. You can get in some pretty crazy little areas with it. It works really nice. Nice sharp tool, good tools. Get that. Who else do I have in this mix here? Here's another Helvey that I like too. This is a real skinny. It's a rough out, but it's skinny and it's kind of rigid, but you can get in a little tighter areas with this blade. A little bit skinnier. I like this handle too. It feels really good. All their handles, I like them all. They all feel good. What else we missing? Oh, and if you get to those gouges, V-tools, you're going to need one of these, a slip strop. You can either buy them or you can make yourself one. Personally, I think it's just easy to go to FlexCut. That's where this came from. And order this. They call it a slip strop. It's got a flat leather spot here that you can pretty much strop anything. You don't have a lot of movement on it, but you can sharpen any knife on this. It's got a contoured area here for your bigger gouges, smaller, and then you have all these different profiles here. Sharp edge for your V tools, rounded for your different type gouges. You can get it on there. All you do is put some compound like this. This usually comes with a strop when you buy it. You rub this all over it and go over it. This you can see how this is contoured. And this has a piece of leather on the top of it too, for catching that other side of those bigger gouges. Handy, very handy. And if you get some V tools and stuff, you're going to need one of those to keep your tools sharp. What else? I'm just trying to cover the basics. I just see all these questions and so many people for just starting out, and I get it. I remember when I first started out, I had a million questions, and I just watched videos, and I recommend you watch more videos. There's so many good people out there so many people have such good carving videos out there and tutorials. That's how I learned. I've never taken a lesson from anybody. I've just always taught myself and paid attention, watched videos, and you can do it too. I think anybody can, if you put your mind to it, you can carve. You're just gonna have to want to do it. Anything else I need to cover? Maybe down the road you might want to get yourself a wood burner. That's nice too. You can do a lot of different detail work with your wood burners. And I'm going to try to flip my camera up without knocking it off the stand, but you can build yourself a little rack like that so it's right in front of you. You can see that there. My messy workstation here. But yeah, I just made this I don't know, last week, 2 weeks ago. I had some walnut. I think that's black walnut I had laying around over at the shop, and I cut it up, made just so my tools weren't flopping around. I was working out of a bag, which is fine for like if you're going on the road. I have a bag that I carry all my tools in, but I'm going to try to make a wooden one. I just see them at these carving shows I go to, these guys that use them, and they really nice. They unfold and come right out in front of you. Unfold in half, and then you got everything you need is right in front of you. And you can keep your tools out of your way and put them back in, and you keep from accidentally knocking them off a table and damaging the blade, whatnot. Oh, something else, if your eyes are getting old like mine, one of these dudes. These work so great. When you get down to the nitty-gritty and you're doing the little tiny details, this comes in really handy. And it comes with, let me reach and get it, all sorts of different type of magnifications, as you can see here. So you have all these, you just slip them in and out as you need them. And what you're trying to carve, they work great. Runs on a battery. I've charged this one time since I've had it, and I usually use the light. And it lasts a long time, and it's just all you do is plug it into, little mini micro, whatever it's called, USB thing, and it charges up. And then you got there's your light. And everything's adjustable. The light adjusts up and down. Pretty snazzy. Anyways, I might be getting ahead of it here. Like I said, if you're just trying to get started, you basically need a decent knife. You can get away with one knife. You don't need two. Let me open this back up again and show you the one I recommend if you're going to get one of two. This Sloyd style knife, flex cut. I forget what they call it, if they call it a Sloyd or not, but this works really good. I've been using this a lot lately, actually, especially when I'm carving bark. I don't I won't use my Helvy knives in bark because there's too much sand and stuff in it. And I just had to put a new edge on this one because I was cleaning bark off and this rough stuff on the bark, taking that off before I start carving it. And, as you're taking it off, you'll see the sand in there, and that will dull your blade up. But I recommend probably this knife right here or this one to get started. A lot of times they sell a 3-knife kit, and I think a lot of times it comes with something like this, something similar. They have a couple of different styles, so you can get a little tiny detail knife like this and a couple other knives. Just look their site over. They got everything right there. And you look it over, and you'll get it all figured out. I'll put this one back in the rack because I'm using it. So I just wanted to put that out there for the beginners, and hopefully it was informative for you. Like I said, I just see people on a web page that I started that you might want to go visit. It's a nice website, some good people on there, or not a website, but a Facebook page. It's called Wood Carving and Art for Beginners. Some helpful stuff on there too. Give that a look. See how you like it. Doesn't cost nothing. Free to join. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel here and help me out. I appreciate it. Anyways, have a great time carving. Bye now.